up, everybody? Gonna give it a minute to let some people get in. Take a drink of my pop. What's going on, man? I was gonna give a quick update. I'm gonna give it about a minute or so, let some people roll in, and then just throw some things out there. Rap with my peoples. Might just be me and you, West LA audits, but that's all good. People will catch up and comment later. So here's what's going on. Last night I was at East Chicago for the second time. Last time I was there was in September of 17, I believe. So I thought it was longer than that, but 7-8 months ago I was there. When I was there 7 or 8 months ago, that video is online. I was surrounded by 5 cops. I had one cop. Keep dropping signal. I tried to reach out to the police chief. I got basically no response. I tried to reach out to the mayor, and I got videos up of the mayor's office hanging up on me, where the mayor refused to speak to me, refused to meet with me. I tried to get some public records, like the guy's cell phone. He was recording me and shoved it in my face and hit me. That, of course, was denied. All that stuff was denied. And I was stopped on the same grounds as what I was stopped for last night. The officer told me that open carry in Indiana is illegal, blah, blah, blah. Went through the rigmarole, so forth and so on. Open carry is not illegal in Indiana. Actually, it is not defined, meaning that it's the carrier's choice. On the state police website, of course, they recommend that you conceal carry because open carry can cause alarm. However, I choose to open carry. That's just my personal choice. I've always open carried. I even have a concealed carry holster, and what I do, I tuck it inside my pants, and then I usually tuck my shirt underneath it so that way you can see the handle of my gun. So, the first time I was stopped and detained, I was assaulted or battered. I'm not sure which one's politically correct. One is like the intent, one is the action. So last night I was at the police station filming again, and I rewatched the video and picked up on a few things. The cop that stopped me immediately goes, "You were told not to be here," which to me states he knows who I am. Even if he doesn't know my name, he knows who I am, he knows what I'm about. Then he demands my gun permit and tries to tell me that open carry is illegal, and that when I sign my permit, if you open carry, you agree to give your gun permit up on any chance, or any time they ask for it. Both of those are definitely not true. I ended up giving up my gun permit because my wife was at work. My kids needed picked up from Vacation Bible School, and I just couldn't go to jail last night. Other auditors have been in similar situations where they just got things going on, and you got to pick your battles. You got to pick your battles to fight. So I ended up IDing, and then I sat down and had a conversation with these cops for over an hour, and this guy just tried to rationalize, and the bottom line was he had every right to make consensual contact with me. Sorry, I had a Facebook message pop up. He had every right to make consensual contact with me. He had every right to sit on the street and watch me if that's what he chose to do. He had every right to call other officers in to sit and watch me. All of that is fine. But blatantly being oblivious to the law and saying that I have to ID and whatever when I didn't is alarming to me. And it's alarming to me because it's happened twice now at the same department. Different officers, but it's happened twice now. So both officers were very, very wrong. Hey, what's up, man? News. both officers were extremely wrong, and the fact 7-8 months apart, and they're still blatantly wrong, shows me that they're not getting training, they're not getting education, they're not getting updated with things. How do two officers, one told me last night he's been an officer for over 20 years. How are you an officer for over 20 years and don't know the carry law? Just as simple as um, open carry or concealed carry. I mean, not anything else related to the law. Just how do you not know that the state you're a police officer in is open carry? More Facebook messages, sorry guys. Or concealed carry. That just boggles my mind. Like, it boggles my mind. So based on the battery, based on the detention, hang on a second, I gotta respond. Based on the battery the first time, or the assault, based on the threats this time of taking my gun and making me fight the state of Indiana for my gun, based on the lack of training of these officers, based on him refusing to give it back and telling me I'm not detained, which when you have my property and refuse to give it back, I am detained. You know, based on them illegally detaining me, based on the assault or the battery, based on them violating my Fourth Amendment rights, and I'm sure there's other ones if I look it up. Somebody quoted last night on my video that Indiana State Court, or the Supreme Court of Indiana, or State Court of Indiana, or whatever, has a ruling out there, I gotta find it, that says a gun in and of itself is not a reason to stop somebody in the state of Indiana. I don't know that the Supreme Court has ruled that on that based on each state, having their own laws and regulations, whether it's constitutional carry, open carry, concealed carry, permits for classes, non-permits for classes, whatever. But I got to look that up. If that's true, then that guy had every right to stop and ask to speak to me for consensual contact, but he had no grounds to mess with me any farther than that if I didn't want to talk to him. But later on in the video, it's like a 2-hour video. I'm going to try to clip it down because there's like a half hour where the guy has to go to a call and come back, and then he calls his sergeant to come back, who's the guy that stopped me, and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the video, the one officer admits that police officers are a legalized gang, and then goes, well, we don't do bad things, but we're essentially a gang, a brotherhood. And I'm like, you're absolutely a gang. And this sergeant goes, well, I apologize and I was wrong, but I feel I was right. Well, the bottom line is feelings don't matter in the legality of things. I heard yesterday, my rights don't end where somebody else's fear begins. I think it's California Guardian that says that. And I used that several times yesterday, and that's the absolute truth. If somebody sees me walking down the street with a gun, do they have the right to call the cops on me? Sure. Why not? If I make somebody nervous or whatever because I'm walking down the street with a gun, by all means, call the police. But it's the police's job to know and understand that what I'm doing is legal and lawful, and other than contact, they have no recourse. And cops don't seem to understand that. So, it's happened twice now at East Chicago. So, last night I said I wasn't going to sue. I've never filed a civil rights lawsuit. But I think I'm going to this time. I think I'm going to file a lawsuit. I've already reached out to an attorney. I reached out to an attorney on the first time we spoke, said I had a case definitely. I just didn't push it forward. But based on the fact that the police chief refuses to respond to me, the mayor refuses to respond to me, I filed an internal investigation against the officer that touched me. Of course, they police themselves, and that was found to be okay. Um, so I'm running out of options. You know, the police department. I've been stonewalled at the mayor's office. The only thing left to you. So I did throw my PayPal. What's up, Jeff? In the link in the description. If anybody wants to help me out, that's cool. Like I said before, you know, I always throw it out there. I've raised $100, and I've been doing this 2 years. You know, High Desert, James Freeman, News Now Houston. Those guys are big. They raise tons of money. I'm just a little guy. You know, I got like 1,500, 2,000 subscribers, whatever the case may be. But I'm just doing my thing, one day at a time. That's all I can do. Also, if you guys want to call the police department, that would be cool. East Chicago, Indiana PD. Frank Smith is the chief. And I also left a link to their Facebook page, which they got a bunch of reviews last time off my video. My last video had like 30,000 hits involving them, and they got a bunch of negative reviews. So if you guys can go hit up their Facebook page, do some calls, do some emails, whatever the case may be, and just make them realize that they can't keep doing what they're doing. But I'm going to jump off here, guys. I got to get gas. I got to get back on the road for work. I may pop an audit in at the NIPSCO facility in Michigan City. But we'll see. There's a big NIPSCO power plant there, utility power plant. So I may pop in there if I got time, but we'll see. But yeah, hit up their Facebook page, guys. Leave some messages. If you got a few extra dollars, $5, man, everything helps with gas and my time. You know, I did 4 audits yesterday, all on my own time, on my own gas. I used 3/4 of a tank of gas, you know, doing audits, and you know, I do it all on my own. So if anybody's willing to help, I would appreciate it greatly. You know, $5 is $5, man. So, you know, just keeping everybody in the loop, and we'll see what happens. Thanks.